we will now test the webhook. Not so much the webhook itself, but rather the part called webhook security. To learn through Zapier or any other system, and in general, learn to verify the webhook, that is, to check the signature that Allpay sends to ensure the authenticity of the request. What do we have? We have an Allpay account and we have Zapier. I will use it, but in principle, other similar systems work similarly. We have a file, Google Sheets, where we will upload information about the received hook. First, in Allpay, we will create a new payment link. We will test hooks on payment links. They also work with integrations. Let's create a payment link that costs, for example, 555 shekels. And here we need to add a webhook for it. That is, all payments that go through this payment link, information about them will be forwarded to the webhook. We will take the address of the webhook here and create a new one. Record. So we don't need a copilot. Here we will create a trigger. Our trigger will be a webhook. Trigger event. Catch hook and catch raw hook. We will receive raw hook because we need the data that comes to us, so the hook is in an unchanged form. That is, we will pass them ourselves, so I choose catch raw hook and, accordingly, click continue. Zapier gives us the address to which the webhook will be sent. We insert this address here. We create a payment link. So, let's now make a test payment. I believe test mode is activated for payment links. Yes. So now we will make a payment with a test card. We can see that the webhook is activated for this specific link. So it will be sent and a gray label will appear. And now we will go to the payment page and make a payment with the test card. Pay. Payment successful. Okay? And now let's listen here to what has come in. Here it is, this request. And here, accordingly, the raw data. This is what the webhook sends us. This can also be checked here on the payment screen. Here it is, our payment. If we click here on label webhook, we will see what was sent. That is, Allpay made a post request to this webhook address with the following contents. Here is all the payment information, what the payment is for, the amount, the client's name, email, and so on. There are also empty lines here. There is a link to the electronic receipt because on this account, it is connected the function of creating electronic receipts. And most importantly, there is a signature sign present here, which means this signature was made on the Allpay side. And this signature was executed using the webhook secret key, which was provided to us. Issued a payment link when the hook was created, that is, with the help of this key. Let's complete the chain on Zapier, continue with selected record. And what are we going to do? Let's upload this information to Google Sheets. So we just make sure that this hook works. Action event. We will create a row. I already have my Google account connected here. My Google account. Next, let's choose where we will create the file on Google Drive. The file is called Zapier Output. Here it is, this Google Sheets file. There are only one column is named params, meaning never mind, just a random name. You will see why exactly later. We are uploading to the first sheet, and here it detected it, this params column, and accordingly we will in it upload these raw body files that we receive through the hook. Continue. Publish. Okay, now theoretically, this hook should have been triggered. If I make another payment using this link, let's do just that. The payment was successful, and now another request should have come to Zapier through this hook, and Zapier should have caught it and accordingly sent it to Google Sheets, filling this column with the parameter. Here it is. It appeared. Payment for 555 shekels. Now, what do we want? The key thing is we need to make sure that the information is not transmitted to Google Sheets. If we don't, this hook did not pass verification. We need to make sure that our signatures match, that the signature that went with this hook is authentic, meaning that a request was not sent to our hook by fraudsters or a man in the middle, someone trying to forge or imitate a payment from Allpay and pass us information that there was a successful payment, let's say, for some service, for sewing and tailoring courses, thereby imitating a payment from Allpay. So what are we going to do? We will process this incoming hook according to this scheme. That is, we will take parameters from it, we'll select the empty parameters from it. The remaining parameters we will sort alphabetically. Then we will take all the values of these parameters and concatenate them into a string. And then we will add our secret key to this string and sign this string. That is, we will process it with an encryption algorithm, meaning we hash it. Consequently, we will get at the output a string that is a hash of 64 characters long. And then our task is to compare the hash we obtained with this hash, accordingly with the given, with this signature. If they match, it means that this request was authentic. Accordingly, we assume that the key, the secret key, is known only to Allpay and only to us. It is not known to fraudsters, so only we can use this key to simulate, in general, perform a check of this request. All these steps are executed by this script, which is located here. So what will we do? We will take this script south, and we will add here step. We will add a block of type code here. In this sense, Zapier is convenient because they really allow you to insert this code. Run JavaScript. That is, we will execute JavaScript code. And what will we do? We will enter our params here.
We will pass our raw body into the variable params.
Parameters. What are params? Params are actually these parameters. Here they are, from which we will later form a string. I insert the script here, and we need to replace it in this script. Our secret key for this hook. Let's take the secret key from the payment link and insert it here. Okay, that's all. So we will have our raw body params and our secret key as input, and then it will follow the algorithm described in the documentation that I mentioned. These raw body elements will be parsed and a string will be constructed from them. So what will we have as output? We should have, our output should be a request signature. That is the original signature that came from Allpay. We should have the base string, meaning the string we will hash ourselves. And accordingly, we should have this hash. That is, this is our signature, which we will create. And then we will compare our signature, which we created, with the signature that came to us from Allpay. Continue. Let's make sure we are working with the second request. Now we find new records. Here it is. Our second request, the second payment we sent. Continue with selected record. And here continue. And now we will launch. So make sure this hook, yes, E51. Key, yes, 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 yes. Press continue. And here again, retest step. Okay. Now we see that this signature came to us from the original Allpay request. Let's take a look at it directly on Allpay's side. Oops, webhook. There it is, 43, and 0. It came to us in the same form on our webhook. Here it is, 43A0. It took it from the raw data. Then we constructed a string from these parameters that came to us. We constructed a string. To this string, we added our API secret key, the secret key, and then we hashed this string using an encryption algorithm, and we got this signature. The signatures match, which means the request is authentic. Okay, now click continue. Now, what do we need? Accordingly, another record has just been created here. Self-continue. Well, if I click retest, then probably another entry will be made. Let's click retest. Yes, here it appeared. What do we need? We now need to add a step here where we will verify the signatures and either create an entry in Google Sheets if the signatures match or not create it. We need to create a filter here. This filter only continue if choose field. If we have from here run JavaScript, we have here request signature, exactly. Matches, that is completely matches. With the signature that we created ourselves, with verified signature, in that case, this chain will continue and a row will be created in Google Sheets. I click continue. Well, that is to say, it checked the previous request, confirmed that indeed an entry in Google Sheets would have been created because the condition was met, so the chain would have continued. And we press, well, let's do it here. Although we don't need a retest anymore. We click continue. 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 Publish. Accordingly, we have published our request. Now we can make another payment. Let's do an example now so you can be sure. It will be easier for us if we have a different amount here. Let's say 444. And then we'll understand that indeed we are working with that very payment. We set a different name. It will be easier for us to navigate. Test. We make a payment. Well, and we assume that this hook has now come here. JavaScript took this data from this hook, it created a string from it, encoded this string, checked that the signatures match, and transferred the necessary information to Google Sheets that everything is fine. Let's wait. Let's see what we have here. Webhook. The webhook was sent. Uh-huh. Yes, nothing appeared yet. Ah, now it appeared. It appeared. Here is our payment for 444 shekels from Maria Ivanova. So this scheme works, and accordingly, you can continue to work with this raw data as you see fit. You can destructure them. You can extract the client's name from them. This, in principle, if you don't know how to do it, I will show you an example now. If you work with webhooks, you probably know this. Let's, for instance, take the payment amount from here. Let's add another column here, which will be called amount. Let's create a column that will be called name. We will transmit the client's name here. Let's say client name. Let's just do it like this. And now I will delete all this data from here. And we can do this through JavaScript. Here, we can do it using the example of how the original signature, which comes from the request, is currently saved. In particular, so it will be easier for me, of course, to copy and paste it here. So we have here, accordingly, the request signature. This is the original signature that we are saving. We can save other parameters using the same scheme. Let's also save the amount parameter. And we will then call it, I think, amount in raw data. Let's see how it looks. It looks like amount accordingly. We will save the amount and the client's name into the variable client name. And this, I believe, is also client name. Client name. And now we also need these two parameters passed to the output. We can add them here in the same way. Accordingly, amount and amount. And here we have client name. Let's do it like this. Conventions here are dash dash dash. With Zapier, how it works with underscores, I'm not completely sure, so we'll do it like this. And now I'll insert this script back into Zapier. And we need to make sure that we have, so continue, that we have Google Sheets, it's all these parameters. So let's now, where is our retest step here? Configure, continue, retest step. So he should see these columns here. Ah, we just did a retest. That's great. Here, I always forget. Probably here. There it is. Refresh fields. Yes, refresh fields. There it loaded for you the corresponding ones. Columns. And now we need from the script. So he doesn't see it here yet. These parameters. Let's also restart the Zapier script now. Continue, and let's also do a retest step, and it should give us at the output. Here it gives us at the output now these parameters as well. Amount and client name. It extracted them from the line. The necessary values. Now we will these values here to pass. This is our amount. We will save the amount and save the client name. Client name, Wonderful. We save it. And let's do the retest step now. And now here, there it is. They are saved. This is our complete params, yes. Our amount value is saved here, and your name is saved. So, this is how you can work with parameters. Basically, that's it. Thank you for watching. Enjoy. Webhooks in the Allpay app, they are available for payment links as well, both for integration here in the integration section. Yes, you can add integrations accordingly if you have payments coming from a website, from WordPress, from any platform to Allpay. You can use Allpay as such an intermediary link to further transfer information to the webhooks that you need. That is, this opens up very, very broad possibilities.